We frequently hear stories of lottery winners and multi-million-dollar athletes who secure massive windfalls, only to find themselves completely broke within a few years. The root cause of this paradox begins early. Our traditional education system is highly effective at teaching professional skills, but it mandates almost total financial illiteracy. Because of this blind spot, highly intelligent professionals, doctors, accountants, and engineers who earned excellent grades often struggle with debt their entire lives. Attempting to build long-term wealth on a foundation of financial ignorance is like trying to construct a massive skyscraper on a 6-inch concrete slab. This systemic flaw was identified by author and entrepreneur Robert Kiyosaki. His observations, captured in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, challenge the conventional wisdom of millions of people worldwide regarding money and success. Society pushes a very specific, false solution: the belief that simply earning a higher salary will cure our financial woes. Without financial aptitude, making more money simply accelerates bad spending habits. Real survival requires learning to track the invisible pathways of money. The diagnostic process starts by discarding complex accounting jargon in favor of a keep it super simple, or KISS, principle focused entirely on cash flow. Under this mindset, an asset is simply something that puts money directly into your pocket. In direct opposition, a liability is something that constantly takes money out of your pocket. This diagram shows the map used to track those definitions. The top half is the income statement, measuring money coming in and money going out. The lower half of this map is the balance sheet, which balances your assets against your liabilities. Understanding the relationship between this income statement and balance sheet reveals the exact dividing line between lifelong wealth and lifelong poverty. If we trace the standard cash flow of a poor individual, the pattern is straightforward. Money enters through a job. That entire paycheck then immediately exits through the expense column to cover basic survival needs: rent, food, and taxes, leaving nothing left over. Looking at the middle class reveals a paradox. Their rising income actually creates a much deadlier financial trap. As their salary increases, they experience bracket creep, where their taxes and standard of living inevitably increase to match their new wages. This leads to a fatal misdiagnosis. They use their newfound wealth to buy a bigger house or a new car, mistakenly believing these purchases are assets. Looking at the diagram, we trace the physical path of their money. Salary enters the income column, but is diverted down into liabilities to service loans. The devastating exit path shows these newly acquired liabilities immediately generate massive expenses, bleeding the individual dry. This creates an infinite loop of working purely to pay off liabilities, a psychological toll universally known as the rat race. The middle class remains in a constant state of struggle because they treat their home and lifestyle upgrades as assets rather than investing in things that actually produce cash. This middle-class trap contrasts sharply with the operational mindset of the wealthy. Instead of upgrading their lifestyle with every raise, the rich bypass consumer purchases and aggressively funnel their initial income directly into the asset column. True, income-producing assets look very different from a primary residence. They include real estate investments, stocks, bonds, and intellectual property. Mathematically, these real assets begin generating their own independent income streams, returning dividends, rent, and royalties. True wealth is achieved the precise moment your asset column generates enough passive income to cover your living expenses, rendering a traditional salary obsolete. This wealthy mindset creates a powerful compounding effect. The surplus income generated by these assets is immediately reinvested to buy even more assets. It becomes a self-sustaining ecosystem. The asset column continually expands, and the income it produces grows exponentially alongside it. This active financial management stands in stark contrast to the habits of the middle class, who blindly trust the system and allow their expenses to rise automatically with their wages. Achieving financial competence requires fighting that societal conditioning. You have to actively read your numbers and recognize liabilities that are disguised as wealth. The ultimate goal is not to learn how to work hard for money, but to learn how to make money work hard for you. To reach true financial freedom, you must stop obsessing over your paycheck and spend your life relentlessly acquiring assets.